Tennis team back at it against Baylor and Nebraska in Big 12 competition.
And Alec Burks is going to make his decision and get that layup right there for the Buffs.
CU ski team on the slalom track just doing work and getting those records.
And CU and CSU lock up horns at Invesco Field. This is SportsMag.
Welcome to CU Sports Mag. I'm Matt Hanlon alongside Andrew Tomasini. Andrew, we got a lot going on. Alec Burks is in his decision.
Obviously, everyone was waiting to hear what Alec had to say, and, well, here we go. Alec Burks kept CU fans waiting for almost a month before announcing for the 2011 NBA Draft. At the press conference Thursday, the sophomore wasted very little time telling everyone he was going to take the next step in his basketball career. Burks is only the third Colorado basketball player to declare himself eligible to be drafted. The others are Chauncey Billups and David Harrison. Burks averaged over 20 points and 6 rebounds a game as a sophomore and is projected to be a top 10 pick in next month's NBA Draft.
Everybody's been speculating what I'm going to do this year, after my sophomore year, I'll just let everybody know I'll be in the 2011 draft, with plans to sign that with an agent. I was going back and forth, I had some great meetings yesterday. Before yesterday, I was coming back, But after the meetings yesterday and talking to my mom, talking to my coach, I felt like the best decision for my future is to go to the NBA. The NBA is a dream of mine. Rather it's going to be, November, January. I feel like I got to take advantage of the time I'm at right now. I got a high draft stock, so I feel like I just got to take advantage of it right now.
Certainly, as a head coach at Colorado, this guy makes me a better coach. We're better with Alec Burks at Colorado than we are with him going to the NBA. There's no question about that. But for me to try to recruit him and to try to sway him back and to try to not do what's in his best interests, I'd be acting selfishly, and that'd make me a hypocrite. It's not something I'm interested in being. He's got a lot of potential, and obviously he's proved that he can produce in one of the best leagues in the country at the highest level of college basketball. He's got production and he's got potential. It's hard to say he's making a bad decision.
It's a good day, When you see somebody realize their dream, it's always a great day.
The Buffs' newest recruit, Ariel Roberson, will have to live in a big shadow. That of her 6'7" brother, Andre Roberson. CU women's basketball coach Linda Lappy announced that the 6'1" forward from San Antonio had signed a letter of intent with the team. Roberson was her district's MVP and McDonald's All-American nominee in a season where she averaged just over 18 points and had almost 10 rebounds a game. Ariel joins her brother Andre at CU, who averaged almost 7 points and 8 rebounds a game as a freshman in the men's NIT run. Roberson is the fourth member of Linda Lappy's recruiting class, joining Lexi Kressel, Jen Reese, and Jasmine Soberov next year in the Buffs' first Pac-12 campaign.
A trio of ex-Buffaloes will have the opportunity to become professional football players as they wait to hear their names be called at the NFL Draft from Radio City Music Hall in New York City. Experts believe offensive tackle Nate Solder has the ability to be an elite left tackle due to his previous experience at tight end. Cornerback Jimmy Smith is projected to be a late first-round pick, while fellow corner Jaleel Brown is projected to be taken somewhere in the middle of the draft. In their senior seasons, Solder earned All-American honors, while Smith and Brown both earned all Big 12 honorable mention this past season.
Stay tuned. The women's tennis team looks to win their first conference match against a tough Baylor team.
And CU won their 18th National Ski Championship, and one skier adds another honor to his resume. Stay tuned.
Former CU student, football player, Olympian, and world champion. But most importantly, I'm a forever Buff, which means I'm part of 240,000 students and alums created by the CU Boulder Alumni Association. The University of Colorado will always be something I'm very proud to be a part of. The years that I spent going to school and playing football provided me with some of the best memories of my life. So come join me in creating lifelong CU relationships and explore the Forever Buff program.
Don't be mean. Clean your machine.
Yeah, how dope was that party last night, man? Yeah, no. Wait, I can't really. You're breaking up.
Off service.
Yeah, no. And then he shoved me, and I was like, that's not cool. And so I just rocked him, and it was tight.
It was a total dime piece, man. Took her back to my place, had a few drinks. You know what I mean.
And after all of that, she told me she had a kid, and I'm not trying to be any part of that right there. You know what I mean? It was a crazy.
And welcome back to the show. And alongside myself now is Luke Rosenmeyer. He's going to kind of dissect the whole Alec Burks situation and how that's going to affect the team next year. Obviously, there's going to be some new players in the roster, new players in the starting lineup.
Yep.
What have you seen and or heard over the past couple days regarding the Burks situation and some of the players that are coming in here and how that'll affect the team next season?
Well, the number one thing you've got to look at with this Burks situation is not the fact that this team is losing just Alec Burks. He's a sophomore. You got to remember these seniors that this team is losing. Corey Higgins is gone. Marcus Relford is gone. Levi Knutson is also gone. The three of them plus Burks, what's that, 75% of the Buff scoring this past season? That's a major gap that they're going to have to fill this coming year. And you know what? I think they're going to be all right doing it. Here you're seeing Nate Tomlinson. He's got experience. He's going to be their starter at the point guard. I think he is really going to get pushed for minutes by Shannon Sharp next year, who saw some time when Tomlinson was hurt. But Tomlinson is really going to need to step up and take control of the offense from that one spot. I think he'll be next to a guy we haven't seen in a Buffalo uniform at the 2 spot, and that's Carlin Brown. He's a really explosive, great athlete. Had to sit out for a year after he transferred here from the University of Utah. But, I mean, you've seen his #1 play on the ESPN Top 10. He has ups. He gets up. Speaking of ups, Andre Robertson. Didn't start at all this year, but he was a really great surprise for the Buffaloes in his freshman season, averaging 7 boards a game. He's going to put on some weight over the offseason. I think he'll be a great person to stick into that 3 spot alongside Austin Dufault, who will be a senior. He's got a year of starting experience under his belt. And also, I think you're also going to see Shane Harris-Tunks back from that ACL injury in the 5 spot. So I think down low, we're going to have a little bit more size. We're going to have kind of the opposite problem that we had last year. We had all the scoring on the perimeter with Burks and Higgins and Knutson. Now we're going to have those big bodies inside that we didn't have this last year. Unfortunately, we're not going to have any of them next year.
Well, thank you very much, Luke. I think it's going to be an exciting season next year. And I mean, Pac-12 basketball, it's kind of a different dynamic, but we'll see how things go. The women's tennis team has yet to win a match in their final year in the Big 12, but they look to take down the #7 Baylor Bears in Boulder. Winds gusted at 35 miles per hour at the South Boulder campus, making an average shot difficult, but the weather gave the Buffs no help, really. The Bears were too much for CU. 3 single matches went into the third and deciding set, but only one was won by the Buffs. Ania Nuskowitz won the lone point for the Buffs as CU fell 6-1. The Buffs are now winless in their 9 conference matches and have another tough matchup against Nebraska later that week.
CU tennis team wrapped up their last home match against Big 12 competitors Nebraska. Despite a tough outing, the Buffs fell to the Cornhuskers 7-0 after dropping the match. CU still holds the all-time edge against Nebraska 18-17. With the loss, the Buffs remain winless in Big 12 competition and finish up the regular season against the Missouri Tigers before beginning play in their last Big 12 tennis championships.
Colorado's own Gabriel Rivas was named the Male Collegiate Alpine Skier of the Year this week by Ski Racing Magazine. Rivas was a solid performer throughout the season for the Buffs, totaling 7 podium finishes in 12 races. The French native saved his best performance for late in the year, taking third in both the slalom and giant slalom at the RMISA Championships in Park City. Rivas followed that performance with a 6th and 2nd place finish at the NCAA Championships as the Buffs took home their 18th national title. Gabriel didn't manage to add the individual title he took in 2009, but he left his mark on the program in his final year by winning a run in both the slalom and giant slalom event.
Men's golf took the course this past Sunday at the 65th Annual Western Intercollegiate. Colorado took 14th in the tournament, shooting 83 over par. Junior Sebastian Heisel and sophomore Jason Burston led the way for the Buffaloes, shooting 11 over par, finishing tied for 39th. Future Pac-12 opponent and third-ranked UCLA won the tournament. The Buffs will compete in their final Big 12 tournament next week.
Colorado skier Gabriel Rivas was named Male Collegiate Alpine Skier of the Year by Ski Racing Magazine this week. As he is sure to be a contender for a spot on the 2014 Olympic ski team, that brings us to this week's trivia question. Who was the last CU ski team member to be on the Olympic ski team? We will have the answer later in the show.
Don't go anywhere. The Buffs meet up against in-state rival CSU to battle for Colorado Club baseball supremacy.
And CU and CSU have another matchup, and that's going to be at Invesco Field as the Rams and the Buffs play a little lacrosse. Stay tuned.
Let's sit down for a second, okay? So hey, Kayla, there's Mary from your class.
Hi, Mary. Hi, Kayla. Come and play.
Oh, sweetie. Why don't you go play with those kids over there?
Why?
Imagine the power of one voice. Find yours at freedomcenter.org.
Guys, we're about to send things over to the double team desk.
Yeah, so Rose and Jacob, take it away.
Just trying to psych you out there. Now we're going to go to the double team desk. A little bit of a technical difficulty in the back room.
Yeah, well, Jacob and Rose, let's take it away.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the very last double team of this school year. My name is Jacob Elishar, sitting alongside Rose Heapy. Now, what we're doing, Rose, is that there's too many sports moments for the Buffs this year, so it's really hard to narrow down to 4.
That is very true. So we tried our best to pick out the best sports moments of the year. And we're starting off with number 4 was the Georgia game hosted here at Folsom Field. And that was a very important game for the Buffs early on in the season. And they won the game, and it brought them to a 3-1 non-conference record. So it cuts them off to a really good start at the beginning of the year. And also, it was just a really big win over an SEC team. And the win was a 29-27 victory. It was thrilling right down to the final moment. It came down. It looked like they were about to score and take the victory away from us, but BJ Beatty had a really key strip of quarterback Aaron Murray, and John Major was able to recover the fumble and basically secure the win for the Buffs. And another really good part about that is that 7,500 Georgia fans came down to Folsom to cheer on the Dogs, but all they saw was a defeat as the CU fans were rushing the field.
And that's true. And now here comes, but my number 3 moment has to be the club triathlon team winning their 2nd consecutive national championship. And now this is their 12th overall national title, Rose. And the men finished first in their respective race, and the women finished 3rd in their respective race. But the MVP of the triathlon team, in my opinion, has to be Carl Rudy Kassar. He won the men's race within 1 hour, 57 minutes, and 4 seconds. I could not do that.
That sounds like a lot of work.
And speaking of a lot of work, in addition to his job with the track team, with the triathlon team, he is also a grad student as well.
Oh, wow. Just think of the workload with the school and training. I wouldn't be able to do
Yeah,
that.
and speaking of this, did you know that the competitors had to complete a 1,500-meter swim, a 40-kilometer bike ride, and finally race a 10-kilometer run? I could not do that if you paid me.
Yeah, I'd have to get paid a lot of money to do that.
Yeah, me too.
So it brings us to our second moment on the countdown. We can't have a countdown without mentioning basketball this season, which had a really good run into the NIT. Now, right before the playoffs started, the Buffs took on the Texas Longhorns. And at this point, Texas Longhorns, they are ranked 5th in the nation. And at that point, the Buffs were looking for that final push to hopefully get an NCAA tournament. It didn't pan out, but they got a really great win out of the deal. It was a slow start, and they came from behind from 22 points down. They were down 15 points at halftime, and they came back, and they actually went ahead and led by 11 points at one point. And Levi Knutson, a senior who's graduating this year, he was really a key in the push for the win. He drained 3 key threes down the stretch, and they won the game 91-89. Another time when the fans got up and they rushed the court. Probably this time was probably a better reason to rush the court.
Yeah.
It was such a big victory.
Yeah, and I love rushing the court, if you know what I mean. But now, number 1, the ski team wins their 18th national championship. However, unfortunately, had to come with Spencer Nelson's death in August 15th, 2010. It was just so haunting to watch the season without him. But now the men's team did win the slalom event, which Spencer would participate in, and then finally the team won 831 team points. That is a lot. And the Buffs defeated Utah by 80.5 points. It's the 5th biggest margin in the NCAA history, and this is CU's 6th title since the ski team went co-ed in 1983. And I did not know about that. That's something to wonder.
Definitely, and also to see, that they, after the last 2 years, they got 2nd place. It was a good way to honor Spencer Nelson, who died unfortunately this year. So.
I completely agree with that, and especially that it's really fun. But however, that's all the time that we have. My name is Jacob Elishar for the final time. Sitting alongside Rose Heapy. Have a great summer, everyone.
The men's club baseball team took on in-state rival Colorado State this past weekend in a 4-game series. After losing 2 games on Saturday, the Buffs bounced back to win the doubleheader on Sunday. Led by senior Tucker Hinch, who went 3 for 4 with 2 homers and 3 ribbies, the Buffs stormed back from 7 runs down to win on a walk-off single. In Game 2 on the Sunday, the Buffs never trailed as they completed the Sunday sweep of the Rams. They finished their regular season against Northern Colorado next weekend before heading to regionals in May.
CU men's rugby player Sean Kilfoyle was named the College Premier Division Western Conference Player of the Week. He had 4 tries and 5 conversions for the 36 points. That's 30 points in the Buffs' 60-17 win versus Wyoming. This is the first honor for a Colorado player this season. Kilfoyle was also nominated for the National College Premier Division Round 7 Player of the Week honor, and results will be announced Tuesday, April 26th. The Buffs will close out their season on Saturday at 4 p.m. against the Arizona Wildcats at Infinity Park.
The CU Club lacrosse team faced off versus the 2nd-seeded CSU Rams in the Rocky Mountain Showdown at Invesco Field last weekend. The Rams got on top early, climbing into an 8-3 lead by halftime. After netting only one goal in the third, the CU offense exploded in the fourth, where the Buffs tied up with a 4-goal run. But the Rams would have the final say as Alex Devlin netted the game winner late in the fourth, securing a 9-8 win. CU sophomore Jack Cranston led scoring with 4 goals. Colorado ends regular season on the 25th and begins playoffs on May 5th. After the break, Derek Kessinger caught up with students to see what their favorite moments of the year were.
And we say goodbye to a longtime friend and colleague here at CU Sports Mag. Stick around.
What's for breakfast?
Guten Tag!
Johannes, Franz!
I bring you arts-enriched Raisinblums, fortified with increased test scores and creative problem-solving skills.
It's good!
And good for you.
Bobby? Susie?
Don't worry, that's just the power of the arts!
Feed your kids the arts. For 10 simple ways to learn how, visit americansforthearts.org.
What'd she say?
She said whatever.
No, she says that all the time.
What's that?
Hello? I'm on the phone.
Mom, I'm on the phone!
Hello? I'm on the phone.
Who's this? It's me. I'm on the phone. Mom.
Oh, you're on the phone. All right.
Sorry.
Sorry. Anyway.
Who are you talking to? Kelly?
Mom.
All right.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who would love to put up with you.
Listen to me just a second.
I'm a good student.
We don't want to
why
be
are you
at
guys
your party
busting
any
me?
more than you want us here.
What could we have done to avoid this?
Keep the noise down so no one complains.
Hey, guys, keep it down. The neighbors are complaining.
Make sure anyone drinking alcohol is at least 21.
You sure you're old enough?
And finally, make sure that you don't have too many people.
Man, that would have been easy. I wish I had known the rules. Now you know. Avoid trouble. Know the rules.
We want to see our children succeed. But setting easy goals for our kids creates the toughest obstacle they'll ever face. Because succeeding in the real world isn't easy. Help the effort to raise standards in America's public schools. Call 1-800-96-PROMISE.
Have you come up with the answer to this week's trivia question? Here it is one more time. Who was the last CU ski team member to be on the Olympic ski team? That would be Casey Puckett, who made the 2010 Olympic ski team that competed in Vancouver, Canada.
With only 1 week left in the semester, it's time for a little reflection. Derek Kessinger got students' opinions on CU sports and moments and tested their school spirit along the way in this week's edition of Man on the Street.
I'm out here on CU's Norland Quad on April 20th to ask students what they know about CU sports.
We're transfer students in our defense.
How's it start?
Hi. Oh, wait. Ah, man. All right, fight. CU downfield. CU must win. Fight for victory. CU knows no
Defeat, so roll up that mighty score.
Never give in. Shoulder to shoulder, we will fight, 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 fight. I don't know. I didn't see a game. The basketball team's victories were pretty great.
Yeah.
Rushing the field when it wasn't necessary.
I know that we did pretty well in the NIT tournament.
When we beat Texas last year, that was pretty cool. That was a fun game to be at.
What was his name?
Alec, he plays football. He's in my marketing class.
We'll go with,
I know a couple of the dancers and one of the volleyball players, Alexa.
Tyler Hansen and, what was his name? Tyler Hansen.
I don't have one.
Scotty McKnight, that's the one.
I'd like to say that there was something impeding these people from their knowledge on CU sports, but I'm not sure. For CU Sports Mag, this is Derek Kessinger.
Thanks, Derek. Over three dozen CU student athletes were honored last Tuesday at the 19th Annual Athletic Department Recognition Banquet. Former women's basketball player Britney Spears and men's golfer Johnny Widmer were honored with the Clancy Aberst Junior Student Achievement Award. The award is given to athletes who overcome personal, academic, or emotional difficulties to succeed both academically and athletically. Also at the event, the women's cross-country team and the women's tennis team brought home the academic team awards. Overall, 17 student athletes finished with a perfect 4.0 grade point average in at least one semester in 2010.
The Colorado women's track and field team moved up one position to 16th after the most recent national rankings were released on Tuesday. The rankings take into account the Buffs' distance runners' great performance at the Mount Sac Relays last Friday. At the relays, Emma Coburn ran the fourth best time in the 1,500-meter run, while 3 other Buffs ranked in the top 50 during the event. Texas A&M is the top-ranked women's team, while Florida leads the way in the men's polls.
Senior-junior Alex Von Hagen didn't disappoint on the first day of the combined events at the Glen Morris Track and Field Tournament, recording 3,951 points on the day, good for first place overall. Von Hagen won Thursday's long jump and finished second in the 100 and 400-meter dashes. In Von Hagen's rear view, just over 200 points behind, is fellow teammate Eddie Taylor. Taylor, a junior from Minnesota, recorded personal bests in the shot put, high jump, and 400-meter dash. Von Hagen, Taylor, and the rest of the Buffs will finish the meet from Fort Collins on Friday.
Not a bad day for weather today. I'm hoping with finals coming up and whatnot, last weekend of free time, basically, that the weather is going to be good. So let's send it over, and Andy McDonald will let us know what this weekend's weather forecast is going to look like.
Thanks, guys. I'm Andy McDonald. This is your last ski report of the year, and also maybe your last chance to get up to the mountains and do some skiing. Breckenridge is open. Copper Mountain is not. It's going to be a nice weekend up there. High in the upper 30s, lower 40s, but it's going to bring in a little bit of snow, 2 to 4 inches late in the weekend. Sunday's expecting about that much, but it's going to be a beautiful weekend, and it's actually your last chance to get up there. Breckenridge closes the 24th, and they have about 100 inches of already based snow. So it's going to be a beautiful weekend to get up there. A little slushy, but whatever. It's your last weekend to get up and ski and snowboard for the year. Vail, same thing. Upper 30s, lower 40s throughout the weekend, bringing in some snow later in Sunday, and only reaching about freezing late overnight. It's going to be a beautiful weekend. Again, half the lifts are open, so it's your last chance. 24th is also the closing date for Vail. Vail closes then, but it's going to be a beautiful weekend, and you might want to hit up there if you want to get one more time skiing or snowboarding on the mountain. But if you want to stay down here in Boulder and get some water skiing in, it's going to be a beautiful weekend. Partly cloudy on Friday and Saturday. Sunday, a little bit of rain, but temperatures are going to be in the 50s. 50 on Saturday is going to be a beautiful day for that. Sunday's a little colder, but not too bad. And Boulder is the best place to be over the next couple weeks and into the summer. It's going to be a beautiful summer like we always have here in Boulder, and I can't wait to get out there and maybe do a little water skiing. For Andy McDonald, I'm going to send it back to the desk.
Thanks, Andy.
Last show of the spring semester, and as always, graduating seniors get goodbye packages. Matt Hanlon's got his right now. Take a look.
Kicking game down the drain. We asked students around campus if they believe they could do any better.
Well, Sports Mag is going to be the same without you, Matt, and obviously we're going to miss your sports expertise, and I'm going to miss you just being around, hanging out, and just being a fellow friend and a good person.
And Hanlon, our anchorings this past semester haven't gone smoothly enough like that we wanted them to, but that's okay.
Lubbock, after leading by 12 at the half, the Raiders went on a 21-5 run to take a 4.
We're going to win the intramural championship. B-League, son. Shake and bake, what up? Let's go.
The answer, Stefan Pell, who pulled in 218 boards in the 1999-2000 season and holds Colorado career rebounding record with 1,054.
Fantastic.
Maddie, Sharks, Giants, really? Why did you come here? Why don't you go to Santa Clara?
Hey, Hanlon, congrats on graduating. Good luck in your future endeavors with some broadcast journalism, and go Giants.
Sorry for all the technical difficulties, but we've got even more CU sports coming your way after the break. Adi Streetman will break down John Embry's first recruiting class.
And Andy McDonald sits down with legendary former women's basketball coach after the break.
I really appreciate your attitude. You come here every Thursday, every Friday, always ready to go, ready to do whatever, always ready to help out, and you're a big reason of why Sports Mag's been successful the last couple of years.
The thing that I think that's immortalized you in Sports Mag is probably one of the best PSAs that we've ever seen.
Vail Ski Resort is going to be nice. Today is 48 and the lows of 33. Saturday will be a nice day, 52. Be a great day to get out there. A lot of sunscreen because the sun will be beaten down, but that's some spring skiing. Sunday, not so much. Well, thank you for joining us. David LaRose, Matt Hanlon, come back next week for more CU Sports Mag. Well, thanks, guys. I want to thank everybody that's been here with me for my entire time here at Sports Mag. And I'll thank you guys. But yeah.
Well, thank you, Matt, and we're out of here. Have a good summer.